Well, hello, my beautiful Aquarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of October, right through the end of November 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aquarians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to be aware of at this time? Can you please show them the way regarding their career and their money situation? Can you please show them what lies ahead? What are they going through right now? We have the Cosmos card. That's a very unique card in this deck. It indicates a window of opportunity opening up for you to elevate in your industry, but also to be more time efficient with whatever it is that you're doing. We've got the Fool card energy there as well. So I definitely see that there's a lot of potential for you to have fun with what you're doing. So a lot of you may feel that you've been in a bit of a cycle of repeat and perhaps there is some sort of habit that you've had to adhere to. Consistency is definitely the key to success there. But I do see something new coming on in that you're excited by is what I'm seeing straight away. So it feels like, yes, there is some sort of opportunity. It's like it's time. And for some of you, if you run your own business, I would say some of you are formulating the right time to launch something or reveal something or move ahead with something, and it's going to bring a lot of success indeed if that's you. But I need to get the rest of your cards to see what's going on there with you. I mean, you have the Chariot card as your outcome energy. That's victory, success. It indicates that, you know, you're going places and you have a lot of willpower, ambition. Yeah, I can see with that Eight of Pentacles, I was getting this energy of habit or consistency. 8 is the number of the self, of course, and 8 of Pentacles in particular indicates that, you know, you are someone who is a pro at what you do. You're mastering your craft in some way. It's important that you enjoy what you're doing in terms of employment, but also, you know, you're working really hard consistently through some sort of, you know, repetitive cycle in order to build your financial future. And we've got the Five of Cups there in the resistance position. We got the Five of Swords as well. Now, this can indicate you have a lot on your mind right now. You may feel that you've been under pressure. You've been pushed and pulled in many different directions. You're holding it all together, and you may be trying to get clear on something. You know, clarity can actually be the breakthrough that you need, and I definitely see that you're going to find that over the next coming weeks there. But also, even in your Gaia chime energy, I felt there was a clash. And I feel it's a clash in terms of an event or something in your diary. So there could be a cancellation or a reschedule or something that's a little bit frustrating there for you. It's nothing like major is what I'm seeing there. But because you have 2 5s, they can be an energy of tension, conflict, or clash of something. Clash of ideas, clash of personalities, clash of perhaps time. You know, there may be something you really want to do, but then there's something you have to do. And the two may not be the same thing. So you need to prioritize what's important, of course, with that Queen of Swords energy. We've got the Seven of Wands. Yeah, you're under a lot of pressure there. But I feel like you are someone who is clearing down your workload, your tasks, your responsibilities. You're being structured, ordered, and a lot of you, maybe the pressure is because you're trying to get ahead because you're about to take a vacation or some time off there, or you feel under pressure to get something done. Maybe you have like a deadline. I want you to be aware, relax, you're going to make it, you're going to make it happen. The Seven of Wands indicates that, you're protected, of course, you defend yourself, you get it done in the time frame. The World is, of course, a card of completion, fulfillment, and recognizing that you accomplished something with great success, okay? But with the World energy, it tells me you're doing it all right now. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there, my beautiful Aquarians. I can see that, you're working super hard in order to keep on top of your goals, your dreams, your short and your long-term plans there. Now, for some of you, I just want to address anyone who's currently out of work, who is currently looking for a role. I feel a lot of you are learning new skills at this time. You may be developing and honing what you know already. And I feel, of course, you're putting yourself out there. Eight of Pentacles is to gain new knowledge or reinvest in yourself and your skill set. And it can be that, you're actually very proficient at what you do already. You're very established. You're very gifted at what you do. The more you do something, you become a pro at it. Sometimes, humans, we have a routine. We kind of like structure and routine. It keeps us knowing where we're at. But sometimes we get a little bit bored with repetitive constructs. But actually, the more you do something, the more you become on autopilot with it. It's like second nature. So that means that you are mastering your craft. You're a pro at what you do. So I feel like you're already very knowledgeable, but you're open to learning more. So you could be trying to keep ahead of new technology, new rules, regulations, or policies, or new ways of working in your industry, just to remain relevant at this time. And I do see some interviews coming up for you, okay? But what I am actually seeing here is that, and I hate to give you this message, but I have to because the Five of Cups is there. Now, the Five of Cups is in the resistance position, okay? So it's like this in this pile. And actually, that's its most positive form. This means, something that perhaps you haven't been getting recently, whether that's attention or an opportunity. Suddenly, hope returns. There's a recovery of the situation, but it may come off the back of a setback. So you may actually go for an interview, or maybe you've just gone for one and you just got, a rejection. Remember, rejection is protection and redirection towards something greater. And there's definitely something greater coming on in. So if you have just had a setback, I'm sending you a huge hug out there, but I can see that you're on to the next. You're not letting it get you down because, of course, we got the Fool card there. I mean, because it's in the resistance position at first, some of you may feel that this interview, if you've already gone for it, has wasted your time. Because with the Moon energy, I feel like, and again, I hate to say this to you, but if you have been for an interview that you were rejected from, there's nepotism there, okay? It means it was filled in-house. Someone was already up for the role. They had to make it public, of course, and offer it out there. But I feel the energy I'm being given is like there was someone already who was kind of like tapped for this role, but they just legally have to put it out there. So you may feel like they wasted your time, which of course they kind of did, but legally they have to do that. They were still seeing if anyone, would be better than the person that they've got. And I feel like you and someone else was actually better than the candidate they have. But this nepotism aspect, they know someone very influential in the company, and it was always going to be theirs, to be honest. Okay, so, do remember it's not, something that highlights that you're not good enough, because these cards are telling me, you're someone who's elevating at this time with the Eight of Pentacles there. You're reinvesting in yourself with knowledge. You're someone who is awesome at your craft, whatever that is. You have the skill set, you have the knowledge, and, you've got the communication skills there as well. And I feel you were kind of the right candidate. You and another person were like on course to be right for that role, but it went to someone else there because it was always meant to be that way. Okay, I want you to be aware as well that if you have gone up for an interview and you're like wondering how it's going, you may not hear back for some time, but the Five of Cups tells me that, things have been challenging, of course, but suddenly there is an opportunity coming your way. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, that basically highlights the more pictorial kind of visualization of what the card actually means. And there is a figure lamenting 3 cups that have been spilt. So it can indicate that you're exhausted, you're tired, you're disappointed, you feel discouraged, that there's nothing out there, and suddenly the universe is aligning you. There's 2 cups that align behind the figure. The figure is not even aware of it yet. So if you cannot see right now how there is an opportunity coming, I'm telling you that there is an opportunity coming. It's going to surprise you. It's going to put a spring in your step. It feels very much like it's a full package role. You will develop in this role. Yes, it's a lot of pressure. I gotta tell you, it's a very fast-paced environment, whatever this is. There's a lot of competition for this role, but you're the person for the job. You know, this card highlights nicely that actually you're the person chosen. There's no one else who can hold a candle to what you can do. So I feel like you are singled out for this role. So, you know, I feel like intuitively you kind of know that this role is yours. But there may be a little bit of a pause whilst you wait for the call that you got this role. And you may feel a bit hesitant or worried in that moment, like, oh gosh, I thought that went really well. Maybe I don't know. You know, suddenly you're going to get that call. Suddenly you're moving. Suddenly you're starting. Suddenly you're working. Suddenly you're making all the money. And I feel like, you know, a lot of you will be in this role until retirement, okay, with that world energy. And some of you, this could even be a role that's overseas. Okay, that depends on if you want to have that role overseas. But these 2 cards indicate a little bit of worry there, or a little bit of stress. But the 7 of Wands actually means that you're above the competition. It means that you're at your peak in your industry. Yes, be open to learning more things. It means you're committed to advancing in whatever industry it is that you're in. I mean, even if it's just getting knowledge on the company that you're interviewing for, you're someone who's gone above and beyond regarding that, and it sets you apart from everybody else. So yes, there is a role coming on in for you. The world energy indicates you reach your goal, and the goal is to find work. So you find a role that actually, I feel actually there is this energy of you being independent in this role. So it feels like a standalone position, or perhaps, you know, you will integrate with people because the world is there, but it almost feels like somehow you do something all by yourself, and you'll fit nicely into the company that you're about to align with here. And your ambition is going to foster relationships in this company where you develop and you upskill, as well as, you know, gain new money in this role. I feel like, you know, you will continue to elevate in this position, and it's very exciting indeed. So yes, there is a role coming on in here for you. But the moon is like, you don't see this coming. This is like a hidden opportunity. The universe is aligning it with you, but it may come off the back of a disappointment, a setback, or a rejection. Again, I hate to give that message, but it is what it is. You know, sometimes, and I used to grapple with this myself many years ago, before I really trusted the process, all the things that I went up for, and I was like, oh, I really want this. I desperately want this so much. And the universe was like, not this time. And I'm like, oh. And then I go for something else, like, please let it be this one. Not this time. And I'm like, oh gosh. And then I was like, okay, you know what? Dear universe, whatever is meant for me, you know, show me. I'm surrendering to the process. And suddenly the universe delivered things that are way better than the other things that I didn't get. So, you know, I feel like you're being set up here for a win, because you have a victory card right here with the Chariot energy. So I know it is stressful, and I know that you may be worried, especially since the job market is very sparse. I mean, this looks like there's dead-end opportunities out there, or perhaps like there's no one out there, and you're like, oh my gosh, is there anything out there that is going to align? And you're like, am I out there on my own? I feel there's a lot of people looking and searching right now. But the 7 of Wands, if you look up the meaning of it, it means that you're independent, you are at your peak, you're at your personal best, you are unstoppable in your vision, you're passionate, you're going to push any obstacles out of your way, and you are engaged in sustained effort, so you're not giving up on looking. And it indicates as well that there is an opportunity that you are kind of like right for that role. You are someone who is going to be very confident in this role, and any competition kind of falls away. There's literally no competition. You're the person for this job, and you're going to be chosen for it, okay? So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. There's just one thing coming through. When you go for the interview, you may see the next candidate or the candidate before, okay? And there may be a moment where they just look a little bit like smug, or a little bit like, I got this. I mean, who are you? You may as well go home because I got this. They don't got this. You got this. Okay. I just want you to be aware of that. Okay. So again, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. Don't let their power play, I would say, put you off. You're bringing your A game. Be confident in yourself. Okay. Now, we've got the cosmos. For everybody else, this is a window of opportunity to elevate in your industry. So I would say here that a lot of you are more time efficient in the next coming weeks. This is about you aligning your efforts with your achievements and seeing the results. You're totally on top of all of your goals with that world energy. It means you're really productive there. And of course, a lot of you, as I said, you could be really trying to clear down your work load, your tasks, responsibilities in order to go on a vacation, because the world card can be that you are wanting to go off and have fun, go on a vacation, a holiday there. But some of you could also be thinking about whether you feel that you're in the right country for the opportunities that you want. You may be looking at your finances and thinking perhaps there's an alternative country abroad somewhere that you feel would foster a better life and work balance there for you, because the world is all about balance. You could also be looking at different countries to protect your finances, because you have a Seven of Wands there as well. And I feel some of you with that Chariot card energy, you may be thinking, is it time to move, relocate, look for overseas opportunities, migrate your skills, migrate your business? This could be something that you're thinking about. I mean, I really feel we're in a time where the collective are really looking at where they belong, really coming back to the grassroots of themselves, and the structure of just like, you know, having a traditional kind of job is kind of like completely crumbling. It's like you can do anything, you could always do anything, and now you're like looking at the possibilities of how to utilize your skills in so many different areas. So some of you could be literally dissolving kind of a structure in order to be nomadic, because you have that Chariot card energy. You may be a freelancer or an independent worker and you want to just work anywhere in the world, or you could be wanting to take your work on the go at this moment in time. Some of you, if you work for a company, or even if you work for yourself, you could be traveling this month in the next couple of weeks as well there, in order to branch out and gain more opportunities there. But I definitely see you increasing in opportunity or expanding your reach when it comes to whatever it is that you do, being noticed by the right people, or even like for some of you, if you're an influencer or online, because this is a card of being, you know, connected to the ether. It's an air card. Some of you may go global online. Maybe you are like spreading your message about something, utilizing a partnership with a social media platform. But also I feel a lot of you could be thinking about how to utilize your knowledge in order to change your industry or make it more efficient, or come up with ideas of how to network and just expand, because I feel the nature of your structure or thoughts right now is like you're doing what you're doing, but can you expand upon it? So again, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. I feel a lot of you are trying to expand your knowledge, but also expand on opportunities at this time. And the Eight of Pentacles indicates you're working consistently, and consistency is actually the key to success. So I feel like you're doubling down on that, being very productive. You're building wealth for your future. This card ultimately means that your future self will be so happy with the decisions you're making right now. And although it's tough, you're thinking about your financial future, investing in the now that will pay off in your future. So a lot of you will be focused on, you know, your day-to-day responsibilities, like paying down debt, your rent or your mortgage, for example, or you know, your groceries, focusing on how you can best utilize your resources, and maybe even like save, or I mean, some of you could actually be saving for real estate or property at this time. A lot of you are thinking about what you're doing right now in order to, you know, build a nest egg for your retirement, because the world can be the end of a cycle. So some of you may be entering into a new era when it comes to your working environment. So for example, if you're pregnant, it could be that you're going on maternity leave, or if you have been on maternity leave, it could be that you're entering into a new era whilst you are, you know, being a parent, but also returning to work in some way. But also it could be that, you know, you are someone right now who's worked your whole life and now it's retirement time, and you're just strategizing the next steps, formulating a plan, and then you're off, you know. But of course you're going to be a little bit worried about the new era, because it means that you're entering into a new pace of life. but also, you know, you're going to worry about your finances. It's human to worry. I feel like you've built a structure that is solid. The Seven of Wands indicates that you're protected, but also you are defending your finances. It means that you can have confidence in all the hard work and what you've built over the time frame that you've been in. And I feel a lot of you will do some traveling, and you're going to lean into your life philosophy, your belief system, and you're going to have time for you. This is your time, so really enjoy that. But of course, not everybody is doing that right now. It could be something that's just on your mind to build for your future, or I mean, there's a lot of energy of short-term and long-term goal energy right now in your reading. So a lot of you are like, yeah, I'd love to plan for the future right now, Baba, but I'm thinking about the now with my finances, and, you know, I'm ticking on by there. So it can be that you're being stricter with your finances or creating some sort of financial strategy or structure. I mean, these two cards indicate no matter what you do as a career, you're keeping your eye on your finances and sticking to some sort of financial strategy at this time. So you could be looking at compounding your wealth, or learning structures that can help you invest your money in the most efficient way, because this is a card of efficiency. Ultimately, it means you're organized and structured. You may be portioning off money that you cannot touch at this time as well. Maybe even a secret stash that no one knows about, because this card can be connected with the moon to like a hidden portion of money, or you may be like making sure that you keep a rainy day fund or an emergency fund, for example. But let's get back to the Queen of Swords, because this is you sticking to your plans. This is you being time efficient. It's you being honest with yourself. But a lot of you, especially with that Eight of Pentacles, you're trying to work towards financial freedom, being independent with your finances, maybe to buy back your time, as it were, so you can have more time to have fun with that Fool card. But also, I feel this is you having clarity of purpose, recognizing what you need to do on your to-do list for the next 6 weeks, and you're on it. I just heard on it like supersonic. I think that has actually come up before. Maybe not for your sign, I'm not sure, but it just came out there. But I feel like you are totally locked on to a goal. Now, some of you, with the Eight of Pentacles, this can be like a course of learning, or you developing a skill. It can be you learning a language with that Queen of Swords, or it can be that you are learning to foster healthy dialogue within the working environment, looking at your listening skills as well. It can be that you are looking into communications in some way. A lot of you are on top of your administrative tasks this month, as well as communication, correspondence, getting back to people that you mean to get back to, looking at invoices, receipts. I mean, if you run your own business, it can be that you need a structure and you're trying to, you know, be connected to that structure and that plan, but also you're trying to fit some time in to develop or learn new things, or, you know, just reinvest in yourself in some way. But the Fool card, it's in the resistance position at first. So a lot of you are like, are we having fun yet? And the answer might be no. You may feel right now that you are under pressure, you feel unfulfilled, or you feel in some way that, you know, it's a tried and tested path, and you're not that you're bored, but I feel a lot of you may feel like you haven't reached your full potential on something, or you feel a little bit stuck in a rut. There's no room for maneuver. So you may be strategizing a way to get new qualifications or upskill in some way to enter new pay grades or enter into new roles of status there. With the Fool card, I feel all your thoughts right now, because you have very self-sufficient, independent cards. This is a ripple effect. I mean, it will go into the upright for you, which means loving what you do is so important. And of course, there's going to be aspects of things that you like doing. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be doing it. I mean, we all also do roles that we don't particularly like. You know, many years ago, I had 3 or 4 jobs on the go. At the same time, I was exhausted. I was running from one to the other, and I didn't like the situation, but I needed to do that in order to live and do the stuff, you know. And of course, there were some aspects of some of those roles that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But then there was like other aspects of the role, which was like, I kind of like this bit, you know. But wherever you are, be the soul of that place, because your energy is connected to it. So even if there are aspects of whatever it is that you do that you don't love, tap into how you can refresh it, revamp it, or have fun with it, because it is a ripple effect, okay? When you are feeling tired and, you know, exhausted and uninspired, that's just going to foster more of that energy. You're just going to feel even more depleted. But I feel with this card, there's a bit of a change of mindset for you over the next coming weeks where you have a spring in your step. There's something exciting you, and I feel it could be something new, you know, or something you're launching, or a trial of something, or perhaps there's a new way of working or a new tool, or, you know, maybe even a new hire. If you are someone who works in a company, if you work for yourself, it could be that you're hiring someone new to help you outsource some of the roles that you're doing. It gives you freedom. This is a card of freedom. Okay, so whatever it is you're doing right now, I feel like you're working towards some sort of freedom there. And the Fool card indicates that, yes, you're going to have fun with it. And, you know, I feel like there's hope returning in your industry. There's a little bit more of an adventure going on there for you. And the Five of Cups, as I mentioned earlier, there's an energy of hope returning with this. But I have to be honest with you, because it goes into the upright, I feel there is this energy that, you know, this could be success after difficulty, or feeling like you're unfulfilled, or that part of your industry or the way that you work has changed and it feels unfulfilling, and you're trying to envisage some new way of doing something because you're feeling like all that sacrifice, that self-sacrifice that you're giving to your role, you may feel disappointed with the yields. You may feel like you're having to work extra in order to catch up with yourself, and you're trying to find a little bit more balance. I mean, for some of you, this could literally be you finding a new money-making idea to actually launch in order to bring in new wealth. And yes, with that Five of Cups, it's hard, okay? And it will be fulfilling for you, and you're going to have some nice surprises with that. You're not going to be aware of how it will monumentally transform your life, but that doesn't stop you from doing it, because the Seven of Wands says you may not know the outcome, but you're still being very persistent, and you're going to make it happen. You're someone who is very diligent. You are very gifted and skillful, and I feel like the world energy indicates you reach your goal, whatever that goal is. So whether it's more money, whether it is, you know, success or doors opening up for you, or whether it is creative alliances or connections, networking, whatever it is, it feels like you reach the point that you've been focused on for some time. And a lot of you, this could be the next 6 weeks where you actually see things start to come together, where you reach a milestone, because you're encompassing the world, which means you are going to get to your desired destination. But you have to have a plan, which I feel like you have, and you have to have an end point. And with that moon energy, it can indicate that you're going to get halfway and then reflect on where you need to go to next. You're going to look at all the hardships you've been through, the wins, but also the losses. Life is all about the ups and downs. And I feel like there's an energy here that, you know, if you've been going through a very testing time, because Five of Swords, you've been tested, okay? And you may not feel like you're completely out of that just yet. And I would agree with you, but I feel like you are protected there. And I feel like you will come out of that. And there is a more positive time ahead here for you. And with the moon energy, right now, you're looking at what's not working. You're looking at what's draining you. You're looking at perhaps hidden pitfalls in your industry so you can make sure you avoid them. And also with the moon, it's like still keeping your vision alive, okay? That can be hard, but I feel like you're up to the challenge, and I feel like you are going to be monumentally successful in whatever it is that you're doing. You're pushing through the uncertainty, as it were, or the worry, because the moon can be a cautious card there. Especially when you got the Fool card, it's like you may want to leave where you're at right now, but you may feel cautious because you may feel that the job market is a very sparse environment. But of course it is. But the right opportunity will align with you when the moment is right. And you may actually grab that opportunity before you decide to leave. If you're putting your resume out there right now, you know, you may have found that there's a lot of challenge, or the right opportunity with the right money is just not out there right now. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to keep your eyes peeled and be vigilant and be ready. If you think about this card, it's like fight or flight mode, right? And this can be that you're on the edge waiting for an opportunity to take flight. So if you are putting your resume out there, I do see that there is a role coming and you're like, oh, this is it, I'm off. But you're not going to worry about it. Even though, I mean, as humans, we naturally worry about things. Am I making the right move? Is this the right step? Should I stay where I'm at? Am I safer that way? Trust your instincts. Trust your heart. Trust your knowingness. You've got the skill set, and an opportunity is opening up for you to be able to do that. Now, if you work for yourself, this could be a deal, or it could be some sort of change, relocation, or even, you know, a change of mindset where, you know, because we have The Chariot card, I'm seeing this as a transition for you right now. So you could be going through a big change in your company or the way that you work. And this is actually going to set you apart from other people. But it feels like it's a tense move, or it feels like things are up in the air. Or, you know, when you're in the middle of change, transformation, or revamping something, it can feel like a lot. So you could be revamping your website, for example, or, you know, whatever it is that you provide as a goods or skill set or service there. It could be that, you know, you're changing the way that you provide it, or the way that you offer it, or the way that you do it. And it can be that you're in that transition period and it just feels like you're doing what you're normally doing, but you're trialing something or you're working something out there, and it just feels like it's a lot more work than usual. But it will settle down, and it will be something that you encompass into whatever it is that you offer. So, you know, in order to keep things fresh, of course, you're retaining a structure here with that Eight of Pentacles, but you may be building upon it or having a new idea that complements what you do already, so you can give like a larger service package, or, you know, whatever it is that you do. So I feel a lot of you are focused on that at this time. But let me see. I'm going to pull a quick card on this because I'm getting an energy on a personal level that some of you, there may be a bill that is taken out earlier than you thought. Let me see. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, you feel pretty fed up about that. Okay, it's something that has to happen, but it comes out earlier. Now, if you have a direct debit and they take out the funds earlier, then, I mean, I think when you do a direct debit, you kind of like agree a date that the bill comes out. But double check that. If they take it out early, because the Fool card is in the resistance position, the Five of Cups also, and the Moon card, this can be something that just goes under the radar, and you're like, hey, I thought I had more money than that. That's a bit frustrating. They just take it a little bit earlier. You can actually contest that. Okay, so either they could, for example, if they take it when you're like at a low fund and it puts you into the red, and you're given a penalty notice, or you go into your overdraft, for example, you could actually get that nullified or get compensation for that because they broke like a contractual agreement to take your direct debit out on the date that you said, and they took it out before. Just watch out for that. That's just something coming through. Page of Wands. Seven of Pentacles is to feel a little bit like, a little bit fed up with that, a little bit dissatisfied with something. And then we've got the Page of Wands there and the Ace of Wands. So some of you may even threaten to like leave a financial institution to bank elsewhere if that's happening, or maybe take your service elsewhere if that's happening. And I feel like you actually will get a discount, or you'll get something as a recompense for you complaining about that. But also, you know, removing myself from the energy, because I feel it's not really like a major thing, but I feel like you'll get it sorted. A lot of you with that Seven of Pentacles, you're feeling like the developments in all the hard work and sacrifice that you're making right now just seem minimal for the amount of work that you're doing. And you may be looking at, you know, how you can double down on what you're doing. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, and if you don't, look up the card. The Seven of Pentacles, the figure has been kind of growing this bush of coins, right? I wish we could all grow one of those, but I've looked, it's not out there. But this figure is kind of looking at the pentacles that are on that bush, okay? And there is one pentacle that has been ripe for the picking. And they're like, this is taking a long time. I've got one pentacle that I can pick now. The rest, they're developing. It's nice, but I've only got access to one pentacle. What do I do with that pentacle? Do I replant another money bush and it's going to take some time? Or do I like do something else with that? Maybe that complements it. Should I plant that pentacle in another field somewhere? Or should I reinvest in what I'm doing? So a lot of you may be thinking right now, what do I do with extra resources if you have extra resources? Or it could be that you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied with the way things have been developing right now, and you are excited to try something new. You're taking action on something. So if you work for yourself, it could be that something is just ticking over nicely. It's doing its thing, and you're like, you know what? I work really hard for this though. Is there a way to, speed this up a little bit? I mean, there's no quick fix when it comes to finances. I'm sure we all know that. But the Page of Wands is like you're exploring. You know, this is a highly explorative time where you have a new adventure, or you kind of like are leaning into your sense of purpose. Ace of Wands, this is a breakthrough, a brilliant spark, a vision that you take to the next level, an opportunity coming in from the universe, something you do not see, something that helps complement what you're doing already. So if you run your own business, this could be a new idea that you're setting up that maybe even is very similar to what you do already. The formula, Eight of Pentacles, tells me the formula works, whatever it is you're doing. And it's now like, well, what do I do with that? If it's working, can I try something else? Can I, move forward? The Chariot card can be two streams of income, for example. It's two directions, and they need to co-align because, of course, the Chariot rarely has any reins. So it means with sheer willpower, you're going to make it through. You're going to be a raging success. But also it indicates that both independent, forces there's two horses. So that tells me that, these two independent energies, money is energy, these two independent things that you're doing, they need to be heading in the right direction, or they cannot be at odds with each other, because then, you will feel pulled and pushed in many different directions, or the wheels will come off. It's basically like if you're having to spend too much time on one thing and you're neglecting the other, that's not really conducive to the path that you want to be on. You want the two to complement each other to move forward, so you can give like an equal amount of time to each, so that they develop nicely in the same way. So a lot of you may be thinking about that at this time, but basically this is a card of moving forward, advancement, making progress. So I would say you're going to see some progress over the next 6 weeks that was really hard won. And that doesn't mean that, if you work for yourself, that you're having to do extra work, because I feel whatever it is you're doing, you're just doing it. It's like on autopilot. It feels like you're going to see an extra success or extra advancement, or things that you felt were at odds with each other or starting to co-align and work together or fit nicely. And the same with your working environment if you work for a company. This can be that there's been some challenge, there's been some people absent, for example, you've been picking up the slack. I mean, this card really tells me that a lot of you will be holding the fort, doing it all yourself. I mean, if you work for yourself, you do that anyway. But if you work in an environment where there's other people, it could be that you are going to be picking up some extra work, more responsibility coming in, maybe due to absences, due to unwellness or vacations, for example. And, this makes you very ambitious because you're learning new things, or you're doing it all because you have that world energy, and it sets you apart. It highlights that you can do what you're doing and other stuff. And I feel, people in positions of authority could be noticing you at this time as well. But the Chariot card is all about your direction. And I feel an opportunity is coming on in, helping you to advance in the direction of your dreams and your goals. And when you have a Chariot card, it means victory. It means overcoming obstacles and being really successful, hitting your mark, ensuring a victory over the obstacles. It's like a conquest. You're on it and you are going to claim a prize, or you're motivated to win. And some of you with that Five of Swords, you could be like a little bit nervous of success because it means change in some way. It means, a faster paced energy. You may feel, oof, things are happening so quickly. Am I capable of managing this? The answer is yes, you've got this. But also, this card can indicate a little bit of conflict between people. Can mean, that there are differences of opinions, but I feel like you're defending your own or standing up for something you believe in at this time. And I feel that, looking at the energy, I don't actually see that there's a compromise. I see that the person that you're having the conflict with or you're talking to, they actually come round to your point of view. And I don't mean that you're bulldozing them and saying, look, it's my way or the highway. I feel a lot of you are like, look, there's a better way, or see this as the long term. I feel the person you're dealing with, they actually see your vision in the long term, but they are the sort of person, they cannot deal with all the details. They compartmentalize. They only see a part of it. It's almost like they cannot see the wood for the trees, this person, and you have to guide them to see the bigger picture on this, whatever this is, if you work for a person. But it could also be someone that you're invested with, or maybe it's someone that you partner up with in some way to run your business with you. I mean, this could be you outsourcing to an accountant and talking about your vision for the future and what you want to set up legally and how you want to advance your business. And you need to get them up to speed and on the same page as you so they can give you the best advice to navigate pitfalls financially and in terms of the economy, but also in terms of your taxes and things like that. So this could work in many different forms. The Five of Swords, I always see this, and I know this card is, pretty grim, let's put it that way. Five of Swords actually means, you're outgrowing a version of yourself. So you're elevating, upgrading in some way as well. And it was hard to do because we like habit. Sometimes we rely on consistency and a habit that we've built. And now I feel like you're going that extra mile or you're stepping out of a comfort zone in order to do something new, bold, and daring that sets you apart or helps you reach for more. So the worry may be there, but the Seven of Wands says there's nothing to worry about. It means that you are either doing something right now and trying to become your own boss, be independent, or you are trying to set yourself apart in your industry to be independent or be above the competition. But this is a card that indicates you're going the distance, you're not conforming, and you're not settling. You want more. So I feel, some of you may be putting yourself under a little bit of extra pressure because if you think about the nature of humans, and maybe even in your own life, the times that you made monumental change yourself was when you felt frustrated, fed up, or tense, okay? You're like, something needs to change. When you feel comfortable, you just leave things as they are. But when you feel there needs to be more or you want to advance, you get a little bit antsy, a little bit frustrated. And these cards are like, okay, I need to just break out of this and I need to have a wake-up call and do something more. I mean, I feel a lot of you are under a lot of pressure already and you're doing what you can with the resources that you got. But I feel like you should be really proud of yourself because you complete a lot of tasks and responsibilities and you reach your goals. This card indicates accomplishment, fulfillment, contentment, and integrating all the things that you have to do to encompass, running things smoothly. So I feel, you should be really proud of yourself there as well. Now, because we do have cycles connected to this card, this can indicate a lot of you are looking at rolling contracts or service providers that need renewal. You may be looking at expiry dates on things that you need to run your business or your life. This can be personal. A lot of you are just staying on top of your financial commitments at this time because the Eight of Pentacles is a little bit like routine, habit, mundane financial endeavors that we all got to do. And it can be that you're just staying on top of that at this time. But also, I mean, some of you could be looking economically at where you feel that you are right now or where you feel other people are, being financially challenged. I mean, economically, globally, there are some issues. We all are aware of that right now, but I feel like you may be just keeping an eye on things or being vigilant, protecting your finances, trying to utilize your resources in the best way you know how. But I do see this opportunity coming your way. And it's almost like I don't see you celebrating just yet. So maybe the celebration comes at the end of the year as you close out the year there. I mean, also if you run your own business, this could be like the end of year tax time for you. You could be getting everything all together in order to, check where you're at, know what you owe, and, be on to the next financial year, for example. And of course, when you're doing a review, it kind of means you are really looking honestly at the wins and the losses. The things you accomplished, the things that were challenging, the sacrifices you made, whether it was worth it, did you waste your time, who is wasting your time, what's not working, what is working. You'll be leaning more into what is working at this time and building through that. So yes, I mean, I'm not surprised to see the nurturing card right there for you because I feel with that Eight of Pentacles, you are reinvesting in yourself to nurture your skill set or hone your craft. But we've got outlook. I mean, that is a big magnifying glass. So a lot of you are really taking a lot of attention to focus on your finances and kind of look closely at how you can best utilize your money. It says improve your relationship with money to help grow your wealth. And I definitely see that you're on course to do that. You may have conflicting values that impose negatively on your values around money. Now, money is a tool that we utilize in order to build stability and feel safe and be able to live in accordance with society's structure that it has built over the decades, the eons, of course. We didn't ask for it to be this way, but it was just constructed this way, and we were just thrown into it at birth there. But, you may be looking at how generations before you in your family lineage, how they dealt with money, how they thought about money. And I feel like you are building wealth in a positive way. You may be breaking through a generational cycle that has blocked money in some way, and you may be learning more about money. Money, it is, as I said, a tool, and it's the person who has the money and what they do with it. So some people have said in the past, in generations, like, money is evil. It's the root of all evil. But actually, it's the person who's using the money and how they use it. The money itself is not evil. So I feel, of course, it can trigger negative emotions within people, envy and all of those things. But I feel like you're trying to foster a healthy kind of connection to your finances because you have that Queen of Swords there. But it also says here, change your behavior and develop better money habits. And I feel a lot of you are, as I said, developing that at this time. We've got justice. Now, some of you may deal with legal structures or legal documentation over the next coming weeks there. It helps you be smarter with your finances because you have the work smart card there as well. But it says something in your life needs to be brought into alignment, into balance. And you've got the World card, which means you will be fully in alignment. So if you feel like things have been out of balance, things have not been fair, or they've been disappointing or dissatisfying, I feel like you're course correcting in some way in order to make sure that things are fair. It says your career may be in law, such as the services, police, military, in courts, or the criminal justice system. Not everybody's going to be working in those environments, but you may be thinking about that, or learning, taking courses at college, getting qualifications to enter those sort of job areas. But also this could be that you're learning the legalities of structure when it comes to your finances or your business. It says, be sure to be honest and ethical in money matters or you will face the consequences. I mean, you're leading with truth and integrity, so I don't see that that part is really relevant for you. I feel like you're honest and above board, but, we are in an age where if you are doing something a little bit naughty, you're always going to get caught, right? So, hey, I'm going to just leave it like that. We've got work smart, okay? And it says here, are you making it harder than it has to be? Sometimes the solutions are that simple. Now, I don't see that you're making it hard. I feel, looking at the cards and the way that they're placed, it's just hard, okay? And you may feel like it used to be easier, but, the world has changed over the last couple of years and things just seem to be a little bit more pressure. And of course, there are lots of rules and regulations changing there as well. I feel like you are adapting to those changes and I feel like you will find an easier path. It says, perhaps it's time to clean house personally and professionally to start with a clean palette. So a lot of you clearing down workloads, I already said that there. Sticking to basic needs when it comes to spending and putting some money aside. Again, I feel like you're doing that already, but you're not compromising quality. We've also got money talents there. So some of you having lots of ideas on how to build new wealth or structure something new or launch something new, utilizing a hidden talent that you have right here that you haven't used for quite some time. This could come to the fore in the next couple of weeks. You have a lot of skills to discover and use for good. Don't sell yourself short. Valuing yourself is so important because if you don't, other people will take that as a sign that they can take your skills for granted. So just watch out for that. Big chance. Yes, there is a big window of opportunity coming here for you. A big chance is coming through for you here. And it says the odds are stacked in your favor, so go for it now. Your cup overflows. And finally, we have nurturing, okay? And of course, you have the Queen of Swords, which can always be about better working practices in the working environment, mindfulness, making sure that you manage stress levels, because I see a lot of you have stress cards here. I mean, sometimes stress and pressure comes because you care, but make sure you keep your eye on that and do not allow it to infiltrate your cortisol levels because that will just be negative for your health, okay? But it says, take care of yourself and your loved ones over all else. Love is the real treasure. I mean, ain't that the truth? But We have to be practical as well, because that's not going to pay the bills there too. But I feel for some of you, this could be you and people that you care about thinking about money-making ideas to form an alliance, to work together and pool your resources into something that will just help you all feel secure and stable, helping each other out, sharing the load there as well, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune. We have one trinket there. We got the horse. So yes, you've got the chariot card there. This is advancement, progress. It's about you being loyal to your work and your industry and to building money and, of course, movement and improvement there. I would also say that things are going to take a faster pace for you, and it will be a challenging kind of pace, but I feel like you're up to the challenge, and I feel like the rewards are so fulfilling that it was worth it. Okay, so I will leave it like that. I hope something resonates there, my beautiful Aquarians. Thank you so much, and love and light.